Hey girl, hey! Welcome back. So, I told myself that I was going to record a video every single day this week. Because in my last video, we talked about courage and being terrified of this. And so I said, okay, I'm going to record a video every day this week. Have I done that yet? No, I have not. I have literally done everything else that I could think to do instead of recording the video. I have straightened my desk a little bit more. I decided I need to start picking some of the resin off of my desk. I have done all the things. I've cleaned some of the stuff in the living room. I've done all the things, but not recorded a video. And it got me thinking, like, man, my friend Amanda and I, one day, she was telling me about someone that she was helping move, someone that she was helping pack up her stuff to move. And one of the things she was doing, she needed to do a whole bunch of stuff, right? She needed to finish packing. She needed to finish getting all the things ready to move. And she was like moving far. She was moving from Ohio to Florida. So kind of a long way. Well, she decided that she was going to sweep the garage instead of doing anything. So Amanda came out and she was like, what are you doing? Well, I'm sweeping the garage. Like, the garage needs to be cleaned. And yes, you want to clean all the crap out of the garage or what have you. But there were so many other things that needed to be done instead of that. But it was so overwhelming and a little bit, I'm going to make an assumption here and say a little scary. And so instead of doing all the things that she needed to do, she swept the garage. And so that's been one of our things, is that we remember, I will tell her, Amanda, I'm sweeping the garage. And she's like, okay, what do you need to get done? And then, you can go back to sweeping the garage type deal. So I have been sweeping the garage for a good minute now. And I decided, well, I could talk about sweeping the garage while I kind of sweep the garage, because as you noticed, I haven't really stood still or sat still. I've picked at things, I've thrown things away, I've moved things. I feel very anxious, I guess would probably be the word, probably the best word to describe what I'm feeling. Anxious about recording the videos, anxious about what do I want to even talk about. Anxious about what am I going to craft while I'm talking, because that is the whole point of this, is because once I can focus on a craft, I can calm down. And so in my last video, I started this sign, and as you see, I've gotten so far. You can't really see my face maybe, but the sarcasm is there. I haven't done anything since my last video, which, okay, that's not that big of a deal. It wasn't that long ago, but at the same time, it's just paint, right? It should be something very simple for me to do. And yet, here I am with only leaves painted. I don't know what other colors to paint. I don't even know if I want to paint this. Do I want to stain this? I don't know. But here we are recording a video talking about being afraid and doing it anyway. And that is something that I genuinely struggle with. I genuinely struggle with, I don't know if this is the right path to take. I don't know if this is what God has called me to do. Maybe I'm not really hearing God. Maybe I'm making it up. maybe I'm gonna fail. And then I have to remember, one of the things that I do to express myself is my tattoos. And so this tattoo, you can't really see it well, but it says, "Oh, but my darling, what if you fly?" Because the beginning of the quote is, "What if you fail?" Obviously that's what's on your mind. You're like worried that you're gonna fail, you're not gonna succeed, everybody's gonna think you're stupid, or you're afraid of succeeding. Because, yeah, in case you didn't know, that's a thing too. Afraid of actually succeeding, afraid of the responsibility of, all right, now I've succeeded, now I have to continue this. Afraid that there's too many things. And one of the things that I have decided this year is, my word that I'm really trying to focus on is courage. And I struggle with courage. Again, we've talked about this a couple of times now. I struggle with courage, and so I just want to talk about it. Talk about why. Tell my story a little bit. Tell about some of the experiences that I've had. And I know that there are others that have felt the same way. Afraid to succeed, afraid to fail, afraid of whatever it is. And I want this year to be different. I want my faith to be bigger than my fear. I want to fail a bunch of times so that I can figure out how to succeed. And that is a really big struggle for me. Maybe it's a struggle for you. Maybe you're like, nah, this chick just don't know how to just get it together. Sometimes I feel that way though too. One of the other things that kind of gets in my way sometimes is my depression. And if I let myself sink too far into it, the motivation will be the least of my issues, because I won't be able to function. And so then you get yourself caught up in this, what do you want to call, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say on that aspect. But then you also have to add the comparison trap. I started this, whatever this is for you, the same time that so-and-so started. And look how far he has come. And look how I'm stuck. I haven't moved one bit. Or my business isn't nearly as far. My whatever is not nearly as good. And I find myself doing that a lot. Way more than I would care to admit. You know, social media is really great for reminding you, if you let it, of how far you haven't come. Like, oh, look at so-and-so with all their money and vacations and children and whatever, and look at me with my whatever. You just fill in the blank with their whatevers compared to your whatevers. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't. It's your whatevers are like down here. When realistically, your wherevers are exactly what you need. And that is something that my cousin and I have talked about a lot, is I feel like I'm supposed to be X, Y, and Z. And he's like, why? Who says you're supposed to be this way? Who says that at this age, this is what you do, this is what you have, this is where you are? We have put such a limit on ourselves by saying, all right, well, when I get, especially women, I'm gonna get done with school. Maybe I'm gonna go to college, maybe I'm not. I'm probably gonna go to college, and I'm gonna get my degree, and then I'm gonna find a husband, and then once I find that husband, then in a couple years we're gonna have 2.5 kids, and we're gonna have a house, and so on and so forth. And if you haven't reached those things by a certain age, you feel kind of like you failed. Or if life has stumbling blocks and you end up divorced, or you end up infertile and you can't have kids, or you don't find the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, or whatever the situation may be, and then you're like, oh, I'm such a failure. I know I felt that way. I definitely felt that way. And there are times where I have to remind myself that I don't need to feel that way anymore, because there's no way, there's no one that can tell me what my life is supposed to be like. My life is supposed to be exactly what it is and where I am at this particular moment. Someone else had to go through something else to get to where they got to. I used to envy one of my friends and their big house and their whatever. And then I also used to look at the relationship between her and her husband, and they would be on two separate couches and they're on their phones and they weren't really spending time together, and she would be sad because they weren't spending time together and things like that. And I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to spend time with my husband. I didn't want where my husband is always working constantly to where I don't get to spend time with him. And so then I had to check myself, because that wasn't the life I wanted. To have this big house, to have this whatever, it wasn't worth it to me. I started to learn how to be okay with what I had. Now, did I still struggle with the comparison trap and this person has this and keeping up with the Joneses? Yes, I did. Because for so long, for me, success was defined by what I had. The house, the car, the significant other, those things. That's how I thought you knew you were successful. That's not really how you determine your success. And how I determine success and how you determine success are two different ways of determining success. And that's okay, because we're individuals. And it is so hard at times to remember this. And so that is what this goal is. And I need to learn how to, I need to learn how to. I am struggling, but working towards encouraging instead of sweeping the garage. And if I can impart anything onto you in this quick little video, is just do it. Do it even when you're terrified. Because then the more you do it, the easier it gets, the better you get. And then the more you'll see, oh, I can do this. Or you'll see, this is not really for me. But how are you going to know if it's for you if you don't do it? And that is something that I am, when I'm speaking out loud, I'm really speaking to myself. Because how am I going to know that this is what I want to do, or this is what I want to do, if I don't do it? If I just let it sit here and just collect dust, I'm never going to know. And all that I'm going to be reminded of is how much money I wasted. How much time, energy, what have you, I've wasted. And we really don't have a whole lot of time on this earth. And I am tired of wasting my time. And I say that today And I might find myself wasting time tomorrow, or I might find myself wasting time later on. It is a daily struggle. Courage is a daily struggle, but it is something that I am making every effort to fight, because the more I fight that struggle bus of courage, the easier it'll get to courage. Yeah, that made sense. It'll be easier for me to courage when I continue to courage. So, I'm going to continue to paint this. I'm going to figure out my thing. And, yeah, we'll see where that goes. So, I hope that you have a great day. Remember, you are beautiful, you are amazing, and you are enough. Bye.